Since the Lightning Saga began, interest in the Final Fantasy series seems to have dwindled, with once-loving fans abandoning it in droves. Almost from the day of its announcement, Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII has been subject to raised eyebrows and ridicule, in respect to the idea that this is not really a Final Fantasy game. That is understandable, but too many have written it off on that basis alone. Just because it does not tally with what has gone before does not mean that it will not be good or even a great game. The original Final Fantasy XIII was widely criticised for being a departure from the norm, with its linear nature and reduced focus on traditional RPG elements being among the more prominent complaints. Final Fantasy XIII-2 sought to fix some of these errors with a player-driven ethos. The story was less linear in order to offer players choice in the way they tackle the levels, and this was bolstered by the presence of more side quests and the Pokemon-like monster catching and training. In contrast to this, one of the central concepts behind the development of Lightning Returns is world-driven. To facilitate this, the game has adopted an open-world environment split into 4 distinct regions. Most importantly, the development team has approached Lightning Returns with the intention of making it the most complete and polished Final Fantasy game to date. And achieving this meant focusing entirely on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. And judging by the critical reception in its home country, this is a bet that has paid off, with Famitsu awarding it 37 out of 40. Central to almost any RPG is the combat system, and that of Lightning Returns combines elements both old and new within a fast-paced and more action-orientated framework. Rather than controlling a party, as has traditionally been the case, players are put in direct control of Lightning with the ability to move freely about the battlefield. Additionally, attacks are now mapped to the face buttons rather than needing to navigate menus, which is intended to make battles feel more responsive. The paradigm system has also received an overhaul and seen its core idea merge with the dress spheres from Final Fantasy X-2. Lightning has access to up to 3 different outfits at any given time, with each one offering different buffs and bonuses and having its own ATB, thus prompting players to switch often in order to keep up with the attacks. All things considered, it is geared towards a crowd that enjoys action, but it also has showed the promise of considerable depth and strategy for players that care to seek it. Here is hoping that Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII brings a satisfying end to the trilogy and finally delivers on all that was promised.
These are the final 13 days.